All right, everybody. Transfer deadline day 2015, February 2nd. It's episode 191 of the Folletonians. Eric here in Overland Park, Kansas, Ped in Old Swan, Liverpool,
Hello.
or at Finch Farm, or down in London, or wherever the toffee copter takes him during this show.
I have not been anywhere near Finch Farm today. I'll have you know, Eric. I didn't feel like there was any need for such things, to be honest, because I didn't really feel like anything was going to happen. But it looks like something has happened. A few things have happened, and
Connor McElhaney
we'll wait and
out on
see.
loan to Cardiff. Matty Kennedy's going there permanently.
Mm-hmm.
Something about Aaron Lennon from Spurs on loan with a
Eric,
permanent
you really
deal.
know how to build up
I do.
players. You really do know how to build up players. It's incredible.
I'm very excited about his shaved sideburns or shaved eyebrows.
You can build a deal up like nobody else.
Yes.
Even if he sound Cristiano Ronaldo, you would sound dull about it.
Well, yeah, because I don't really care for him too much, but
I don't
he's a
care.
horrible player,
Yeah.
horrible person. He would not fit into Martinez's scheme at all.
Mhm. Of course not.
So what about Aaron Lennon though? Because he is an Everton player on loan for the remainder of this season. Cap tied in Europa League, so he's not going to help us out against the young boys.
Mhm. Also, Eric, on the video screen, make sure the big screen's coming up because it doesn't look like it is at the moment, Eric. You're not having a good time with this YouTube today, are you?
It's not.
You're not having a good time with this YouTube.
This technology is just.
Is it too much? Is it just too much for you? Is that what it is? Is it too much for you?
I cannot.
Too much excitement.
I cannot wrap my head around the fact that we've got Aaron Lennon in the side, and I just hope that he doesn't take the number 5 shirt.
Okay. Make sure if people are watching on YouTube, make sure to get in touch with us using the Q&A app also on YouTube.
Yep.
Get in touch with us there because if you're trying to talk to us through other means,
Twitter a little bit we can do during the show. The Q&A app on the screen. Hit the Q&A button. It's the little yellow box on the video there. Click on that. Get involved. Easiest way because it puts us straight up on our screen while we're chatting, and we can get to your questions and your comments and whatever snide remarks you have to say about us. Mostly me. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm fine.
That's okay. Right, let's get back into it. Now that Eric has completely cocked up the show. Aaron Lennon, well, I mean, there's a difference of opinion, isn't there, on Twitter if you go on opinion now. Lots of different opinions on this player. Now, the way I look at it is this is a lad who was bought by Spurs a few years back, showed a lot of potential at Leeds, brought down to Spurs. Spurs are one of those clubs. Players just seem to just go missing at Spurs. They have a real lost and found situation with players. Players' careers just go missing at Spurs. It happens all the time. He's a player who started out quite well for them, and he's just slowly disappeared, slowly gone off the boil. He's a player who he's a little bit like McGeady, but fast. He's like the fast version of McGeady. He is great in the build-up at times, but then his final product isn't very good at times. And I think basically what Everton need to do is find a way of getting that final product out of him. But certainly his pace will be a really important resource. If we can get him to do the basic things of picking the ball up, running with it, and then just putting in crosses or laying the ball off into dangerous areas, then that's what we want from him. He might have been playing at Spurs with players who are not as fast as him, and I don't think we'll have too many players as fast as him, but he might be a player that you can use brilliantly on the counter-attack, and Spurs simply might have been suited for him, and he's just, over the last 12, 18 months, he might have just gone off the boil. It happens sometimes. The move is needed, and that's now we've gone for the rest of the season with a view to a permanent deal. So let's see what happens. We've seen how loan deals have been so productive for us in the last 18 months ourselves. So let's see what happens. Let's see where it goes. It can only be a bonus that we've got a player in. I just don't see any disadvantages of bringing a player like him in.
Yeah, I just want to show him like the game film from Aiden McGeady so far this season, and just say, don't do that. I think that would be a good place to start. Just don't do that, and work with Coleman if he's playing on the right, and don't lose the ball. Make passes to us, and be productive. I'm excited about the pace. I'm excited about especially early on until he gets bedded in with the side, being an impact sub. I think he'll be possibly very important this weekend. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I am optimistic that it's a better option than what we've got. He will improve our side.
Well, I mean, I think he'll improve our squad. Well, I'll wait and see if he improves our side. I'm not 100% sure on that so far, but I think he'll definitely improve our squad. He'll improve what we've got coming off the bench, and I think what we've seen on Saturday is when we play with width and we can stretch teams and hit them on the counter attack and not be not have to rely on the passing game as much, then we can be a difficult side to play against. And I think having a player like him who's got that kind of pace can be a big difference, because one of the big problems this season has been we've tried to play a lot of the passing stuff like last season, and we just haven't played it with enough speed. We've allowed the opposition to get behind the ball far too quickly because we're playing far too slowly. So having a player of his pace, I mean, let's think about it. This time last season, with Deulofeu, very, very rough player, but could change games with that little bit of pace. Now, obviously, Deulofeu is young, so there's still plenty to come from him. Aaron Lennon's obviously 27, supposed to be coming into his peak years. A lot of people say, well, you can't teach a player like that the thing that he needs to do most. But at the same time, he's going to move to a new environment. He's going to have to impress. His career's going absolutely nowhere at Tottenham Hotspur. He's going to have to impress at Everton, so he's going to have to get himself playing well, changing his style a little bit. And if we can get him to just be really direct, and as you said, just move the ball from one end of the pitch to the other,
very downhill, yes.
Yeah, that's really gonna help. And I mean, look at that side now. If he plays on the right, look at that side, him and Coleman. I mean, there's some pace on that side now. Extraordinary pace. So I'm going to give him every benefit. Him coming off the bench will be a big bonus. Him starting games, that pace, playing. I really like it when we play on the break. I think it really, really helps us, especially in the predicament we're in at the moment. I've been saying for weeks that we should, change the style and try and play with that style of playing on the break, knuckling down. Trying to trying to defend in games, get through games, and then hit teams on the break, and that's clearly what we started to try and do in the last few games. So having him come in, I think that's a big bonus. On the players going out, I'm actually a little bit surprised that they've let Matty Kennedy go. I thought he may have had another year to maybe knuckle down and show what he was worth. I didn't think he was near the first team this year, but I did think that he had enough potential and shown enough potential in his loan moves that there might be something there, But clearly, I don't know. Clearly, he just hasn't trained on. Physically, I think he's quite slight, and maybe they don't see that as happening. Or sometimes what happens is you get a player like that, and someone younger might be developing faster. So the club might think, well, there's a player behind him who actually he's blocking, or so they will move the player on. But he's gone to Cardiff. It'll be a good breeding ground for him, and who knows, what will happen with his career. Sometimes players have to go backwards to go forwards. That sometimes happens in football. Conor McAlealy's gone there as well on loan. Again,
Yep.
he needs game time. He really does. He's been at the end of some really serious injuries. Let's see how he gets on at Cardiff. Let's see how he develops. Let's see if he comes back in the summer and there's anything about him. Personally, I don't think he will make it at Everton. I just think his time has come and gone. I think if it's really hard once you get past once you get past to 2021. If you're not around the first team, it's going to be very, very difficult to break into the first team. So let's see what happens with him. I mean, players have been written off in the past and have got a run of games going and have hit some form, but we'll wait and see. I think what he needed was games, and that's what he should get at Cardiff.
Yeah, we got some questions coming in on the Q&A on the get involved in. First one's from Luke Sage. He says, "Do you think it's smart business letting Eto'o go, considering what he's reportedly done whilst at Sampdoria?" And I'm thinking, yes. It seems more and more so that if he wasn't the problem, he's definitely going to be used as a scapegoat for any sort of locker room dust-ups and derision between the side and the manager, and just how everybody was feeling about their football. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, we you can't say too much about about Eto'o. I mean, who knows what went on behind the scenes? You know what I mean? Who knows what went on? There's but it's clear that he's gone to Sampdoria. He's only been there a couple of days, and he's already sort of not getting on with people. So
Right.
The club felt it was the best thing for him to do. So so we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. We talked him up. We thought he did some really nice things for Everton whenever he was in the side, and whenever he, I mean, a couple of really great goals that lifted them up out of bad positions, and so it was just really confusing why things fell apart the way they did, but now he's moved on and he's having similar issues and that he's had in previous teams. I mean, so I'm not sad. I'm not sad to see him go, but it stinks that it didn't work out. I don't know.
No, at the end of the day, he wanted to play football. He wanted to play. He wasn't playing. He's it's whatever's happened, and he's moved on to another club. Not really too fussed now. I think the time has come and gone, and that's it. Time has come and gone. It never worked out the way we thought it was going to work out. So fine, that's it. Do you know what I mean? That's the end of it. Just it never worked out. So be it.
Well, let's get into Tim Cahill real quick because he's about to announce what he's going to do, and there's rumors of him coming back to Everton. There's rumors of him joining Moyes at Sociedad, and or he could go to United Arab Emirates. He could go to a hometown team in Australia. Would you want him back? Can we have him back on a loan, even though he's not owned by anybody? Can we just like loan his rights from whoever is going to eventually buy him?
I think he's probably already. Well, he obviously was very clear that he got his contract terminated with New York. I think it was best for both parties, and it's very clear that his future is already well sorted out. I mean, obviously, we're going to find out in the next 5 minutes where he's going. I'm pretty sure that he's probably going to an Asian club, whether that be I think Al Hari, I think is the name that has been linked with him in the UAE. So they, if he went somewhere like that, he'd have a fantastic lifestyle. He'd be on great money. Also, China's been mentioned. Again, that's another strong possibility. He's going to be on a fantastic contract. He's going to sort of be halfway home, back to Australia as well. He's always said he's not ready to go back to Australia to play yet. He's coming off the back of a fantastic Asian Cup tournament, which he helped Australia win, of course, in Australia. Yeah. So that's fantastic. So his value is going to be immense at the moment for certain clubs. His brand, he's all about his brand. I mean, anyone who sees him on Twitter, some of the pictures he puts out, he's always got like his boots, and anyone who's sponsored by is a proper brand magnet. Would I have him back at Everton? I probably would till May. And a lot of people will disagree with me, but I think in football sometimes you need characters around your squad, and you need people who are just gonna be there and make sure certain things happen and certain things don't happen. And I think Cahill's one of those people I would love to have around the club at the moment for the next 6 months, just to make sure people know what it's all about. And also,
can we bring him in just for the derby?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, there'd be some games where you'd look at the bench and just go, yeah.
Oh man, I wish I had a Cahill.
Something like, Chelsea have brought back Drogba, and I know, I'm sure Drogba's still got plenty more to offer than Cahill has, but you just think sometimes you do need to just throw that little bit of experience on the pitch. So I would have no problems. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't bring them back on anything ridiculous. I would bring them back till May, and it would be on low wages, and he'd benefit, we'd benefit. But I'm sure he probably has already got a club lined up. But say his club, say he was at, I don't know what the calendars are of these leagues, but if he went to a club and he said, well, we don't start till X date, I'd happily take him on a short-term contract till that date.
Kind of like a Landon Donovan loan situation.
Yeah, part of that is just like the romance of it, and the other part of it is, you do want characters around your club. You do want people who know what it's all about to be at a football club and know how important it is. So yeah, definitely have him back just for the short-term contract. But I'm sure we'll find out in the next couple of minutes that he's signing for someone in Asia. I'm sure that'll come up very, very soon. But yeah, I mean, he's Tim Cahill, isn't he? At the end of the day, he's still Tim Cahill. We'd all. I'm pretty sure if he come, you wouldn't. You'd have some moaners, but I don't think you'd have too many.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does here shortly. Any other deals, last-minute deals, signings for Everton, or is this pretty much done and dusted?
No, I think that's pretty much it now, isn't it? I think there was talk of a goalkeeper, the kid from Nyland, from
Norway.
From Norway, who Thomas Meyer had said was ready for the Premier League, and I think maybe what's happened is that
has Joel shown
the form,
well enough?
The form of Joel is definitely probably
and Howard recovering more quickly than expected.
I wouldn't say that. I'd just say Joel's form. Basically, I think Joel's form that is good enough that that it's made Roberto Martinez feel like he can possibly wait till the summer, before having to worry about that. And who knows? I mean, there might have been a deal done behind the scenes where this kid will come in the summer. But what I would say is, especially regarding Tim Howard, is I generally think that whatever anyone says, this would be the perfect time for Tim Howard to possibly go to MLS, because his stake is never going to get higher in America, is it? He's never going to be bigger in America as right now. He's never going to be more profitable for Everton than right now. Yeah, and he's never been more profitable to a MLS club right now, because that's the other way you got for those three things. But I suppose with that, he could maybe do a deal. He could do a deal anytime, couldn't he? There's no transfer window as such in MLS till the summer, is there? So he could still do that deal. I just don't see why. I can't see him sitting around for 3 years when, by the looks of it, he's he's not going to be featuring.
I think he's gonna have a hard time uh, keeping form to make the next World Cup.
Exactly,
I
he's
don't
not.
know.
He's not.
I don't know if he's going to be able to do that in the MLS and keep the quality. Probably. Um, he needs to play regularly. That's for
Exactly,
sure.
and you think that the only real places that's going to happen would be MLS or Tim Cahill has gone to Shanghai. He's gone to
Shanghai.
Shanghai.
Yep,
Shanghai.
Shanghai, China, yeah.
So there you go. He's gone to Shanghai. So there you go. That's the breaking news anyway. So
Yep. So we won't see him back at Goodison playing anytime soon, and unless there's a loan possibility. I like we said, I have no idea where that calendar lies in relation to UEFA's calendar, but who knows?
good luck to him. Good luck to him. He's going to
Yep.
make some serious dough out there. He's going to have a great lifestyle, I would suppose. A lot of people would think China's a place where maybe I don't know what people. But I'm sure he'll have a great life and he'll earn an absolute fortune. I don't think the football will be up to much, but I suppose he's probably picked a team. He'll have picked a team that's playing in the what you call it, the Asian Champions League, I suppose. So best of luck to him. And never really thought he would sign for Everton. I did think he was going to either go to one of the Asian clubs. So he's obviously decided to go to China. So if you wanted him back, I'm sorry. That's but good news for him anyway.
Anything else with transfer deadline day? Should we wrap it up
Wrap it up. Let's get on to
let's
get on to the actual winning games.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back to go over the Crystal Palace match. All righty. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're back on Follow Tony. It's brought to you by Abscess Services Limited. Pad, 3 points.
Oh, what are they?
I don't know. We've got points. Has 3 points. I'm excited. we are pulling away from the relegation battle. We're 6 points clear from the drop. We're in 12th place.
Yeah, it's exactly what we needed, wasn't it? 3 points. You can't.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it couldn't have happened against a better manager. Your favorite, Mr. Alan Pardew. Isn't he just great?
Think,
Post-match conference and everything. Just classy guy.
To be honest, you know what? I wasn't even too worried about him at all because, who at the end of the day, who cares? You know what I mean? I wasn't really worried about him at all.
Right.
Just wanted the 3 points. I was hoping that we would set up in a style to be a little bit harder to beat, play on the counter attack, and we did that. And scoring within 2 minutes was absolute perfect start because what it obviously meant was Palace then had to come out and play against us because they like playing a similar style. They like playing on a counter attack. So for them to have to score a goal or come from behind so early on was absolutely perfect for us. And the next 5 or 10 minutes they were a little bit iffy. Let's be honest. A lot of balls going into the box, one cleared off the line, the ball flying around, plenty of blocks. Having to be made, and we got through that little period. And once we got through that, I thought we looked quite comfortable.
Yeah, I would agree. Very much excited to have goal line decisions in the Premier League because I'm pretty sure that it was millimeters, not even centimeters. It was millimeters from crossing that line completely, and I'm so glad that is in play, that you can go straight to it, everybody can see it, and it can immediately stop any bitching and moaning.
Well, that's it. It doesn't even you don't even have to go to it technically. You get the goal is given or the game plays on.
Right.
So it's not even an issue. So
I guess I'm talking more about the replay, getting in there, showing it to the keyboard warriors, and just leaving it to where it's undisputed evidence of whether it went across or not.
well, that's it. I mean, you can. There's no. It's not even an argument anymore. It's not even
Right.
really. It's not even a discussion point. I mean, it's probably the first time it's happened to us in the time it's been. It's been
Possible, yeah.
yeah. So it's probably one of the first times it's really happened to us. So it was interesting. But you just look at it and you think, well, that's how close. That's how close it can be in games. You know, that's how close it can. It can be that, you know, and I probably get the feeling that if we were playing without that might have been given because it was so close, you know. But
It would have been very hard to not give that in real time. Very hard.
but thankfully, obviously, it wasn't given, and we got through that little spell.
Yeah.
Got through that little spell, and once we got through that little spell, I thought we coped really well. They put a lot of balls into the box. I thought we coped really well with them. I thought the back four looked excellent. You know, Stones and Jags were trying to clear everything, trying to get in front of everything.
Coleman came across, stepped in front of quite a few balls. I was really impressed with how Joel commanded his area, catching balls at as high of the point as possible, and actually catching them, and not punching them, and not leaving it up to chance as to who was going to get the follow up, and holding on to it. It's I thought it was a breath of fresh air to actually use your hands for catching.
And it's amazing how much. It is amazing how much it's you know, you see, keepers are judged, and this has always been my thing. You know, keepers are judged on the saves they make or the saves they don't make. But sometimes you've got to look at the whole game. I mean, Robles' distribution is far better than Howard's, but you know, the last few games when he's been coming off his line and taking the ball out the air, that just takes so much pressure off, because a lot of the time you're playing against teams that rely on the second ball. I mean, you might win the first header, but they're latching onto that header and keeping the ball alive. And by having a goalie that comes out and catches the ball, that just takes the pressure off. And you know, especially if you're under the cosh, you can just slow games down, and then you can speed them up by the distribution of the goalkeeper. So, that's been a big bonus. That really has been a big bonus, and that's what really helped us, you know, on Saturday, getting players in front of the ball, and then the goalkeeper's distribution to try and get us on the break. And you know, that's how we played. We played on the break. So I thought the attitude of the players was really good. I thought the shape of the team looked good as well. I mean, okay, McGeady's not everyone's cup of tea, but he played wide, and Morales played wide, and you know, Naismith dropped in, and we looked like we had a proper midfield shape, and it worked. And okay, we didn't create a lot of chances, but once we'd scored that goal, we didn't necessarily have to go looking to wrap the game up.
Right.
We just needed to stifle them and play on the break. And late on, I mean, look how many chances we made late on. We had a good 3 or 4 chances late on to wrap the game up.
Yeah, great ball across that Lukaku almost got onto, and then Lukaku running at people and just unfortunately missing target, hitting the side net. Would have been nice to have gotten another one. Just to put it away. 2 definitely would have done it, and luckily enough, we were able to keep a clean sheet and only needed that 1 second minute, and that was it.
No, as you say, I mean, there's a couple of chances later on, and we were unfortunate not to finish them off. But that's nice that we finished the game strong. You know, we finished the game in a strong manner. You know, we were the one.
It wasn't parked. It wasn't 10 men behind the ball, 11 men behind the ball. It wasn't diving at shots, trying to block them to save our life. It was asking questions, and it was nice to see.
So, good to get a win. Positive. I thought we played well. I thought we had the shape, and I thought, it was obviously it's the best the best result we could hope for going
Yes.
into this week's Merseyside derby.
I thought Gareth Barry didn't hurt us, which was nice for once. Besic got a full 90, so that's good.
I thought it was excellent as well. Personally, I thought it was really well.
Amazing, absolutely. Like some very clever passes. I think only like one errant pass that really sticks out in my mind, but a lot of very clever passes out wide, and did make some heavy challenges a couple of times, but I think that's just him. That's just going to be his style. That's just what he does. Still only 2 subs used, only one with any sort of time for Oviedo to get on, and then Kone like really, really, really late. Just confused why. But
yeah, I think the only thing I would have probably liked to have seen in this game was maybe Kone coming on a little bit earlier, and maybe Lukaku shifting over to the right or the left.
Yeah,
I thought.
I like him out on the right. He, whenever he can get in on that left foot.
I thought Kone, when he came on, I thought even though it was only for a couple of minutes, literally the first thing he did was hold the ball up really, really well and make it difficult for the opposition to get round him, and that's what you need when you're holding on to a 1-0 win. I mean, Lukaku's hold-up play, it's not the best when he's got back to goal, let's be honest. He offers other things, and I would have liked to have seen Kone, because I think Kone, you bring him on at that stage of the game, he keeps the ball, he holds the ball, he's got experience, he knows how to win fouls, and then you can get Lukaku in on the wing where he can run at people, run into those channels, especially if the other team are throwing men forward. So I think that's the only thing I would have done slightly different, but definitely something to look forward to going forward.
Anything else impressive in this match?
I just thought we played well, as I said. I thought Best is excellent. I thought Barry looks like he's getting back to somewhere near his best. The back four, the goalkeeper, they look great. I thought Naismith looked great just dropping in. Morales. Morales was great, and Guidi wasn't great, but they're holding the shape, they're keeping the shape.
Yeah, Morales and Baines actually talking before a restart was nice to see. Yeah.
No, all right. Just the 3 points. That's all we wanted. The 3 points.
Yeah, like I said, we're moving in the right direction, up to 12th. Everybody below us lost that needed to lose, so hey, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can win another one, and start linking up to those teams ahead of us, and wins and wins and wins and more wins. You never know. There's lots of games left still, and lots of points out there to win, and it just feels good to get that victory under your belt.
True that.
All right, break time one more time. We'll take a break, and we'll talk about that match. We'll be right back. All right, whenever we come back, you want to mention James Corbett for everybody. Just give him a shout out. And
why?
Because
we've got an advert for him. We've got an advert for him. Don't worry about it.
But it's a live show. There's people watching, Ped.
I don't care.
All right. They're hearing this right now too.
Exactly, Eric. Exactly.
Nice. All right. Here we go. All right, we're back on Followtonians. One thing left to do on the show, and that's preview the home derby.
Before we do, let's big shout out to James Corby, that lovely man, and his lovely book company for continuing to support our lovely podcast. and also for
Everything's
Paddy
lovely.
for Paddy for supporting our lovely podcast as well with his nice company, which he's now a director of. Thank you guys. We couldn't do without you. We could do it without you, but we wouldn't have our yachts to go and relax after the show. So thank you.
You have your yacht. I have my toffee copter. It's
Mm.
the Folletonian lifestyle of the
The rich and famous.
Scouse and middle class American.
There you go.
So we've got a question. Why not go back to the Q&A here? Aaron O says, do you think he will start in the Derby? And he is referring to Aaron Lennon.
No, I don't think so. I think it would be a little bit unfortunate if he was to, come in and displace, anyone who's played in the last game. I don't know if there'll be too many changes from the last game. I mean, one player we didn't even mention in the last game, was the absence of Ross Barkley, and that's simply because I just don't feel like there's any need to talk about the lad apart from saying, he's had plenty of critics this season, and maybe he just needs a rest, needs to get out the spotlight. I just don't think that game was on. I don't think that game for him on Saturday was a game for him, and whether he comes back in against Liverpool, I don't know, but maybe he just but so for Aaron Lennon to come straight into the side, I don't really think that'll happen. I think he'll be more of an impact sub. I think that would make a lot more sense.
I would agree fully. It's these types of matches where you need to be able to bring someone off the bench that changes the game, that can change the dynamic, add pace, add just a little bit of zip, a little bit of creativity, something that's just a little bit different than what was going on. Just freshen it up, and make people get out of their comfort zones of what they've been doing for the first 60 minutes, 75 minutes of a match.
Yeah, need to have, that's the big thing in games, is having someone who can come off the bench and change things up. I mean, that is such a big difference, in football. So, to have that, that's what all the top teams have now. Just have something different, to have a different kind of player come off the bench to make the opposition think is a big thing. Maybe, or again, sometimes you want like for like. You might have a player like Morales who's getting a lot of joy against the player, and then suddenly he had to go off. Whether it be tiredness or an injury, and then you lose.
Most likely injury, knowing Morales' record in derbies.
Yeah, and then you lose that momentum because you've lost the player, so you lose the momentum of the player. I mean, you go back a couple of years ago when Morales was given their fullback at torrid time, wisdom, and he was injured by I think Suarez stood on him.
Yes.
And he was taking him. He was destroying the kid, and Suarez knew what he was doing basically, because we were getting so much joy. He knew what he was doing. He fouled, and we had to go off injured, and we never quite looked the same down that side. So
right.
That things like that can be a big difference in games. So yeah, I'm thinking it'll probably be a similar kind of team to what it was on Saturday, and probably a similar kind of style. I just think that this week he may change it slightly in the way we play. It wouldn't surprise me if he did put Lukaku out wide for this game and maybe played Naismith a little bit more central.
More central, yeah.
Because Liverpool have had on a great run. They'll have the threat of Sturridge back now. Sterling looks refreshed. There's a lesson for maybe what we could possibly do with what we have done, possibly doing with Barkley. So
yeah.
You look at that and you look at that and think, well, they're going to be the team that are going to be doing the most attacking. You've got to pay them a little bit of respect, because they are good going forward. They haven't been so good converting lately, but having Sturridge back might change that. And I think it would suit us to get through the first half an hour or so. Be very much in the game. Be solid at the back, because that's what it's all about. You're solid at the back. You've got a lot more chance of getting points out of games. So if we can be solid at the back and go from there, then who knows?
Yeah. Another question or comment from SoCal Everton. The Everton USA contingent is on its way over to Merseyside. They will be at the derby. They're going down to Chelsea, and we'll talk about Chelsea next show. But true or false, Ped, Merseyside police are only worried about the match start because of all the troublemakers from Everton USA that are coming over.
That's false.
False.
Because
False.
they're all like,
soft.
They're all soft Americans. So
soft Americans.
Soft Americans. That's what they are.
Yeah.
They're
not hard-nosed scouse, blue-nosed scousers.
No. Them guys have got a decent record, I think, as well, when they come over. I think they've got a decent record, so...
I know Mies has got a really good record. Matt Menschel, who's written some stuff for us every once in a while, and I don't think he's seen us lose yet.
No. But, yeah, the Americans have got a decent record,
so
hopefully...
Neither have I. I've seen a win and a draw. Only 2 matches, though.
Obviously, this is a derby. This is a derby. It's going to be.
Throw form out the window, which for us, thank goodness for once, is in our favor to do that.
Well, as we've said before, though, I mean, what does it? People have complained about the fans and the atmosphere at Goodison Park. That's just not going to matter on Saturday. It's going to be a really, really big game for both sides. And I think what's interesting about this game is that form is one thing, but I think pride actually is not. Local pride doesn't really matter in this game either. I don't think I'm not really concerned about losing the game due to local pride. I'm worried about losing the game on where we are on our position. That's the most important thing to me, is our league position and getting points and getting up that table. So losing this game would be devastating to me because of our situation, not because of it's Liverpool. Whoever we played on Saturday, I mean, obviously it'd make it a little bit worse because if we play them and they beat us, and then they're going to try and start rubbing it in at our position. But I'm just generally more worried about where we are in the league at the moment. So I just want the 3 points for that simple reason.
Sure.
As you mentioned, we've got Chelsea on the Wednesday, and that's going to be a tough game on its own. So it's a case of just getting the 3 points. I mean, don't get me wrong. When we get there Saturday, the atmosphere is going to be nuts, and everything that comes with a Merseyside derby. But during the going to be heated, and everything will follow as it always does in a Merseyside derby. When it comes to the actual crunch of how I feel after the game, it's going to come down to simply the fact that if we get beat, I will be again worried because of the position we're in.
Do we dare make predictions? Do we dare?
Oh, I would think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw.
I could see it being one. Yeah, I could see it being a 1-1 draw. And I don't think that. I think that would suit us. I think that would suit us, a draw, to be honest. I think we've got okay, the next few games, okay, Liverpool, Chelsea, and then we've got Leicester, and we've got Arsenal. But then we get a little, not easy games, but games that you would be more likely to win, or you think you'd be more likely to win. Now, what I would like to do is come out to the end of this month and go, all them games that are must games, the games that you go into and be confident and happy because you've been on a half-decent run. I don't want to go into those games being, oh my God, these are must-win games, because if we don't win them, then, we are in serious, serious trouble, So
Sure.
It'd be nice to go into some games. We're going to win a couple of games and be away from the position we're in, but if we can win a couple of games and start thinking, I'm get on a roll, so then you're confident about the next few games more than anything, just being confident. So that's where we want to be by the end of the month, just going into those fixtures that we should be winning, a lot more confidence, and that's the way to look at it.
I think we can win. I think we will win. I don't think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I'd be really surprised if it's just a 2-goal 1-1 draw. I'm thinking more like 3-2.
Mhm. I think both teams. I mean, both teams in general lately they've tried to improve their back four. You know, they've tried. Liverpool have got defensively a lot better in the last few weeks, and Everton have got defensively a little bit better. And I think both teams are concentrating on trying to keep that back four solid. So I don't know whether that'll dictate how the game is played as well. I think, I think we will want to be solid because obviously we don't want to lose the game. I mean that's clear. We don't want to lose the game, and David Moyes will probably feel that if we don't lose the game, David Moyes, Roberto Martinez up. Sorry,
wow.
I'm watching the screen
because Tim Cahill.
I was watching Sky and I'd seen that. Yeah, I was watching Sky then. Sorry, I had me in mind thinking I was watching the deadline day. So Roberto Martinez will be thinking, right, let's be solid, let's concentrate on not conceding a goal, and try and go from there. So I think it might be a little bit more cagey than I don't think it's going to be an open free game.
Any chance we get a penalty and Morales takes it?
No, because that's been made very, very clear that Leighton Baines is the penalty taker. I don't even think we'll get a penalty. Let's be honest.
I think it might be on. I think that might be on for us to get a penalty.
I'm not so sure. Not so sure.
Thoughts on Anthony Taylor taking the center?
All referees are awful. I mean, that's the simple fact. They're all awful. You know, the best one is probably Clattenburg. There you go. That's
wow. That says a lot. That says a lot.
That's worrying.
That is worrying. Mike Jones?
So,
maybe, maybe not.
No.
Horrible. All of them horrible.
They're all just really, really poor. This is the worst batch of referees I've known for a very, very long time. So, But we'll wait and see. Let's see what happens. See what happens. Merseyside derby. We can go into it. We can go into it a little happier, a little bit more confident. Let's say now that we've got a win under our belt, it's not necessarily. The pressure, because I can only imagine the pressure if we'd gone into this game and we had won a game since the first week in December. Just the general atmosphere of the whole stadium would have been a little bit, poor. Now at least I think fans will feel a little bit more confident, a little bit
of hope,
yeah,
a little bit of aspirations of feeling like there's something to salvage out of the season still.
Yeah.
All right, 1-1 for you.
Be confident. Be confident. Be noisy. Yeah. Confident, noisy. Everything that goes with the Merseyside derby, it all takes care of itself. That's the good thing about a Merseyside derby. It all just takes care of itself.
There should be tons and tons of Everton USA scarves for you all to buy at the match.
Yeah. I've got one.
Yeah. For those of you who don't, hit up David Kurtz. I'm sure he's going to have extras.
I wouldn't wear it for the derby. It's got red on it.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I tried to talk him out of it, but it still looks good. There's not that much red. Not that much red. So, last second shout outs, comments, closing thoughts on the transfer window.
We signed someone. Who cares?
Yep, and hopefully he's better.
Yeah, I've just realised on YouTube, because I've got a dark coat on, it actually looks like I'm just a floating head.
Aren't you not just always a floating head?
Possibly.
Alrighty. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in.
Let's go. Let's go before I go Robotnik.
Yes, let's go. Come on, you Blues, let's go. 3 points. Cop heads, cop shots.